I believe you can see the material now. For those who have
Yes, sir.
for the group. Okay, fine. That's okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
No problem. That's okay. Last week we concluded by talking about theory, different type of theory, and that will be things to look at this week. You know, we talk about applying social work theory to practice. Then we'll mention some theories we'll be talking about. We'll talk about social learning theory, system theory, psychosocial development theory, psychodynamic theory, social extreme theory, rational choice theory. At least just to mention a few that I'll be looking at. And I could remember somebody also talked about model. And I told the person that models are also included in the material. For those who have the material already, you will see models there. Models are there, and you know, I just want you to know at this point that this course is not a course on theory. In every discipline, theory is a course. Research methodology is a course. But because we are just talking about knowledge, understanding, and skill, you know, in social work. So that's why we need to talk about everything, you know, not details. We have to talk everything about everything because it is not everybody who has the background of social work. So this will help you to have at least idea of what social work is all about. And that is why this particular course is being put in place, talk about knowledge, understanding, and skills. At least if they're talking about social work theory outside, you say, yes, you'll be able to mention about 2 or 3 or 4. When they're talking about models, they'll be able to say something even about models. I know some people, they find it difficult to differentiate between models and theory and thereabout. You know, if you look at it, theory helps social workers to describe, explain, and predict. Theories help social workers to describe, explain, and predict. These are somehow abstracts in nature, you know, they arrive at those theories as a result of some practical or how can I put it now, empirical work that was done, empirical research that was done, and looking at what has been happening over time, they concluded that this is a theory and it's been applicable to different cases that have something to do with that. But when you talk about models, models are practical steps. Now, theory has helped you to explain, theory has helped you to describe, theory has helped you to predict. You get it? Then what are the practical steps you are going to take for intervention? This is where models comes in. This is where model comes in. You will now know, okay, we have adopted this theory. Then what are the practical steps you are going to take, for intervention? Then that is where model comes in. Definitely, you cannot separate theories and model. You cannot, because theories open your eyes to what is happening, give you explanation of what is happening. The models will now help you to know the practical step to take, in order to intervene. I think we get the difference between theories and model clearly now. You do it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we can see models, we can see theories. So we just want to look at few of them. At least here we have 6 theories we want to look at. They will also be looking at about 6 or 7 models still, just for us to have the knowledge. Like I said, if you are to be in a theory class, you'll be talking about many more theories. But this for us to have knowledge of what we are doing, and it's going to help us by what the course title is: knowledge, understanding, and skills in social work. Now let's look at it. We are picking from social learning theory. This concept revolves around the idea that people learn by observing and repeating the behaviors they see around them. This is even common to children and also to adults, but more to children. Why is it that those of you who have children, especially mommies, you just enter your bedroom and you see your daughter? She has mixed your makeup with your powder. She has painted herself like mascara, and she carry mirror in her hand. Why? Because she has seen you doing it. That's the social learning theory. So if you see that a child is doing something or somebody is doing something, you can, okay, adopt social learning theory that they learn by observation, by observing and repeating the behavior they see around them. The social learning theory, also called social cognitive theory, came from psychologist Albert Bandura, who demonstrated that children can learn behavior they see modeled by adults. For social learning to take place, some condition need to be met. A child must see the action, want to emulate it, remember it, and have the similar opportunity to act out the behavior. Do we understand social learning theory? You must have seen it several times. You must have done the same thing. But you may not know then that it was called social learning theory in social work. But now do we understand it? Hello, everybody. Or you can give me one example.
Yes,
Okay, you that you thought, give me an example that you have done or somebody has done in your presence through social learning theory. I'm hearing you.
okay, sir. I've seen a situation whereby a child will see what the mother is doing. Maybe the child sees like maybe a particular clothes the mother likes wearing, the way the mother dresses. The child too will also emulate that pattern of dressing from the mother.
Okay. So, but before now, you didn't know that is called social learning theory, I guess.
Hello,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, somebody is talking, a man is talking.
Hello,
I'm
sir.
hearing you, sir. I'm hearing you.
Another example is a male child that comes from a home where the father is always beating the mother. If time is not taken or proper education is not being carried out on that child, the child could also abuse his own wife in future because he saw the father doing the same thing to his mother.
Oh, Anne,
Yes, sir.
you said the child could also,
Yes, I
was it
said the
my
male
200
child.
level in the University of Ibadan?
Hello, sir.
My lecturer then said, if your daddy beats your mommy, you will beat your wife.
Yes, sir.
Because you won't see anything wrong in doing that.
In doing that, yes, sir.
It is true. They believe that you see a child, a son that is always pampering his wife or taking care, just go home. What Abba Bandura actually did was, oh my God, hands are up. Surely, Dejule, you raise up your hand. How can I help you? Anthony wants to also raise
Good
up his
afternoon,
hand. How
sir.
can I help you? Good afternoon, Dejule.
So you're saying an example of social learning about Bandura.
That's what I wanted to explain before I called you.
Okay.
What
So
Bandura did,
I wanted to give,
okay, I'm hearing you. Okay, let me allow you to talk.
I
Okay, go
wanted to
ahead.
give an because I didn't come up online. I was like one of the examples of social learning was like Ngozi, while I was saying that her dad was a professor or so, and the dad was always busy. So she had to learn because the dad was always reading. I think she imbibed it from the dad's reading, that social learning. What you see your elders do. both in environment, in your parenthood and all that. I think that's part of it.
You are correct. Thank you, sir. So put down that hand. Mr. Anthony Wanze, you also raised up your hand.
Yes, I wanted to give example of where I have used social learning theory in my work. I have used social learning theory as a group therapy, especially for bringing parents with the same problem together so that they can learn. And I've also used it in a group home for those who are addicted, who had drug abuse, who are experiencing drug abuse issues, so that there are instructions and rules that are given, and they learn from others. They learn from others who are recovering and who have recovered from those situations. Just to give practical ways that social learning theory can be used in social work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And also, you talk about social learning theory, but we can also bring in self-help group in that your examples, Mr. Antonio. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Who is this person now? You always.
Yes, sir. You are correct, sir.
We can also bring in self-help group because people of the same, they open more to themselves than they open to an outsider.
You're most active in this class.
Jesus Christ.
I was praising him for the message he sent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. What is this people now? Please mute your mic. Do that. Mute your mic. Thank you. So, like I said, people in self-help group, they often open to themselves than they will do to an outsider, because they trust themselves more than they trust any other person that is not having the same issue with them. And like we said, that they learn from other people. In every self-help group, we have what we call the rookies, and we have what we call the veteran in every self-help group. The rookies are those who have been in that problem, and managing it. Why the veterans are those who have been in the problem before others. So why other people came to join, they give them hope that this is not the end of life. You understand? So that is talking about self-help group. So let's go back to social learning theory. Like we said, according to Bandura, what Bandura did was that he has two groups, what we call the research group and the other group, which is, not, one is exposed to the factor he wanted to test, and the other group is not exposed to it. You understand? Some children were exposed to things that has to do with violence things rather, and other children were exposed to non-violent things. And after a while, they brought all these children out. And when they brought them out, after they brought them out, it was those children that were exposed to what now? To violence thing that began to act violently, fighting everybody around them. You get it? And that shows that children learn from what they see. And that was how Bandura came up with that, theory of learning theory. And it's not that children who are exposed to things like that tend, to act in that way. So I believe with that, we understood what learning theory is. This is just for us to understand the theory. Maybe you've been seeing it, but you didn't know what it is called. This is what it is called. Social learning theory or cognitive theory. So the next one we are looking at is systems theory. I'm sorry, is Mr. Ines in this class? Our brother from Australia. I've not had him. Hello? Okay, he's not here.
I think he has not joined. Yeah.
Maybe he's already sleeping. This is close sleeping time for them in Australia. So the next one we are looking at is systems theory.
Sir, please, we
theory
don't see the slide again, please, sir.
the slides has traveled though.
Okay,
It
sir.
has traveled. Let me do that. Sorry. Thank you for saying that. Are we seeing it now?
Not yet, sir. Okay, sir.
Oh,
Yeah, it has come.
okay,
Thank you, sir.
fine.
Thank you, sir.
So the next one is systems theory. System theory looks at complex systems that influence human behavior. The idea is that no single force completely encompasses or explains human behavior. Instead, individuals are influenced by multiple factors that work together. System theory considers factors like family and social interaction, religious and cultural influences, and economic forces. Within systems theory, individual problems are often addressed collectively because of the interconnected nature of the theory. You may see this type of social work theory used in treatment of eating disorder, depression, or similar struggle. This simply tells you that there are systems, every needs systems. You belong to a family, you belong to a school, you belong to a workplace, you belong to this and that and that. And we can look at all these systems as contributing to what is happening to an individual. For example, you look at a couple and there's a problem in the family, the husband and the wife, they're always at loggerhead, you get it. And you may want to look at the systems each of them belongs to. Maybe the woman will move from office to gym, from gym to church, and blah, blah, blah. And this is causing problem in the family. This is what systems is doing. We need to know how to manage all this, or we drop one so that we avoid problem in our homes. It is not only that, we may look at children too. Why is this child going back in his academics? He will leave school, he will go to swimming pool, he will go to music training, he will go to that. By the time he come back, he's late and he's tired, not doing his assignment. You look at the systems around him and how this is affecting the behavior. So you can use this system theory to explain what is happening. Like I said, that theory explains, describe, and also what predicts. You understand? You can also predict before even the problem will happen. With the way this child is doing, with all these systems they belong to, this might affect him or her academically. Because you know what system theory is all about. Do you understand what system theory is saying? Do we?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is that Mr. Wante talking?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I don't really
Understood, sir.
understand.
Who they talk to, I don't really understand. Okay. How many, Clarence, how many systems do you belong to? Let me hear, let me know. Maybe we can use it as our practical example here. We will treat your system, we treat you with your system that you belong to. Oh yeah, Clarence, you said you didn't understand. How many systems do you belong to? Mention them. Let's hear you.
So I'm not the one that said I didn't understand, though.
Sir, what do you
Not the
fear
one.
mean by systems?
Fear don't they cash you. Fear don't they
No,
cash you.
no, sir, it's not me, really. It's not me, sir.
Sir,
It's
first of
not
all,
me,
let's
sir.
understand what we mean by system in this context.
We say what? Angela.
So I would like to understand what we mean by system in this
But
context.
I mentioned them. Family, religion, workplace, cultural influence, economic, those are the things we mean by system. So you belonging to so many systems, if they are not properly managed, they could have negative effect on you and other. One may be suffering and the other side will be benefiting more. You must know how you manage your participation in all your systems. You can see mother who is she's into politics. She leaves home very early in the morning. She go from there to their political meeting. Before she comes out, the children are sleeping. You know that the aspect of mother will be lacking in the life of those children. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Admo?
Yes, sir.
So it is Mr. Wanze, you wanted to say something?
No, it's I wanted to say something because somebody was saying what's a system here. Just to add, when we talk about
Okay.
systems here, we are talking about things or people that can seen as a whole and they cannot work separately. For example, not just family, a workplace is a system. There is department of this, department of that, department of all those departments are like subsystems. Remove one department, the whole company will not achieve their aim. So if there is a problem, if you're a social worker, you want to solve a problem in that company, you look at all the systems that make up that company, all the sectors, all the branches, all the departments to see how to solve a particular so that the company can function effectively. So a company can be a system, a family can be a system, a group of people can be a system is just group of persons or things that are working together to achieve a goal. And without them being complete, one missing might not help them achieve that goal. So once they are now affecting each other, interacting with each other, you can call them a system.
Thank you, Mr. Arinze. But in this case, we are looking at systems theory. The name of the theory is systems. Systems. Fine. Your explanation is okay. It is a system. And if you are looking at that, maybe you are an industrial social worker. Maybe that is why you're able to pick an organization as a system of its own. But if you look at how systems also work together, like we said, we belong to different systems. Your organization or your place of work is seen as a system. Your church, your religion is seen as a system. The family you belong to is also seen as a system. So an individual belongs to so many systems. That's what I'm saying. You belong to different systems. There is nobody that belongs to just one. You are a child to your parents. You have your own family, what we call family of orientation and family of procreation. Those are two systems already. Because if you don't manage well, that is why you see women having problems with their husband at times. And that's why you see husband having problems with their wife at times, because she's giving more attention to her family of orientation more than she needs to do to her family of procreation. Because your family of orientation is where you were born. The one you have created is your family of orientation. You have to give orientation to children. No, that's your family of procreation, sorry. Family of orientation and family of procreation. So you need to give attention to the family yourself is creating. You see? And we can look at it if you have issue with husband and wife, you look at the system they belong to. You belong to your own family where you came from, family of orientation, and look at your family of procreation, the one you have created by yourself. We must look at what is causing the problem. Look at all the problem, all the systems that. Who is this person now? Please help us, Madam Anne Oyemechi, please.
It's not me,
Thank
sir.
you.
It's not me.
Please also mute your mic. That's what I saw. I saw that you are not giving mute your mic. Thank you. You get? So the systems we all belong to can as well affect us or affect one. And that can bring problem to family. That can bring problem to individual. That can affect the children. I know of a family where the father and mother are strong members of two different political parties. The father was in APC, the mother was in PDP. I saw the firstborn. The family was torn into pieces. It got to a time that the father asked the mother to leave the house. And why? And the wife was telling the husband, remember I bought that land. Remove your hand from my land. Because they belong to different systems, and each of these systems were anti to each other. So you need to know the number of the systems you belong to. If they are not working mutually, then there will be problem. Because system theory look at complex systems. Complex systems, not talking about one. Complex systems that influence human behavior. The idea is that no single force completely encompasses or explains human behavior. We are being influenced by all these systems we belong to. You are being influenced by your place of work. You are being influenced by your church. You are being influenced by your family. You get it? And you have different values from all these systems you belong to. So you can bring them together and see which one do you need to drop, which one do you need to, you get it, in order to, to bring support to your family. System theory considers factors like family and social interaction, religious and cultural influences, and economic forces. Within system theory, individual problems are often addressed collectively. If you leave one, you must look at them holistically and look at which one is actually affecting or causing what. That is it. For peace to reign in such family. So that is that on systems theory. And the next one is, I don't know if anybody has any question with that system theory before I proceed. Any question on that system theory?
Sir, just to use it, sir, just to like you have explained, sir, that
Yes, sir.
theory will help us as social workers to be able to know the type of treatment or how to handle a case. And in this system analogy, you have said that, for example, the way the body functions, the heart, the lungs, every part of the body is a system, and they function for the survival of the whole. We breathe the air, the heart pump blood to different parts of the body. So as social workers now, if there is problem, so system theory is saying that we should look at the family, for example, systematically. What is the role of the husband in the house? Is the husband unemployed? Is that the source of the problem? His inability to meet the needs? What are roles and status in the family? This will help us know who is supposed to perform for their function. And you have used the example of somebody engaging in so many activities. Are they able to perform their role in the family? If they are not, then there will be problem. And that is an insight that the system theory, like you have explained, the system theory is trying to give us, that every part must function for the survival of the whole. And as social worker, if there is any problem, whether in a family or in a community, we should look at what part of the system is not functioning. We isolate, identify, and support the system to function in line with what is expected, so that every part will function for the survival of the whole. Thank you, Anova.
Thank you so much, and Mr. Anthony Wednesday. Thank you so much. You just brought in another dimension to that theory, which is called functionalist theory in sociology. Functionalist theory uses the body as a whole and tell you there's problem in one aspect of the body, it affects the entire body. Thank you so much for that contribution. I think you have also helped us to drive the point home very well. Then the next theory we want to look at is what we call psychosocial development theory. Psychosocial development theory. This theory is according to Erik Erikson in 1950. And it talked about 8 ages of man. If you look at the stages we have there, you see 8 stages of man. And this has to do with developmental stages of human being. If there is problem at one stage, that child may carry that problem from that stage to adulthood. Let me put it here. The first 5 stages are meant for children from age 0 to age 18. Trust and mistrust, autonomy and shame versus shame and doubt, initiative and guilt, industry versus inferiority, identity versus confusion. These first 5 stages are from age 0 to age 18. From age 0 to age 1 is the first stage, which has to do with trust and mistrust. For example, the child will feel able to trust the world and people in the world. if their needs are responded to and the child is cared for, emotional warmth and sense of belonging from adult caregivers are crucial to building up a sense of trust. Don't look for that in your note. Inadequate and rejecting care from adults will result in the child being suspicious and fearful of adults and others. This is from age 0 to age 1. This is talking about developmental stage in human being. This theory is common in psychology of development. There's a course like that. The psychosocial development theory is based on psychologist Erik Erikson's idea that individuals move through 8 different stages of psychosocial development in their life. According to this theory, stages from infancy through maturity include the following: trust versus mistrust, autonomy versus shame and doubt, initiative and guilt, industry versus inferiority, identity versus confusion, intimacy versus isolation, generativity versus stagnation, integrity versus despair. This is a theory of what? Development. You can see that a child becomes somehow, and that is following that child to adulthood. You may need to check at what stage in the life of this child that this problem started. Like I said, stage 1, mistrust and trust, is age 0 to age 1. Then the second stage, which is autonomy versus doubt, this is age 1 to age 3. Erskine argues that this is the first opportunity the child has to develop a range of life skills. Encouraging this is key to building up the child's confidence. If the child is not positively supported to develop their own skills, or is mocked at or criticized when they do learn new skills, then the child will be riddled with doubt and lack of confidence. It is not until when they grow up they lack confidence. It's because parents who are meant to encourage that such child, the adults around that child who are meant to encourage that such child, they mock the child even at that age. And you don't know that they grow with that. They lose that confidence. That is developmental stages we are talking about from infancy. And this happens between age 1 and age 3. And as teachers too, we must know how to encourage our students. You see, you cannot become anything in life. You are putting prophecy in the life of that child, and it becomes self-fulfilling prophecy, because that is what you have done. Labeling theory. 2 theories came in together there. Labeling theory and self-fulfilling theory. They have even said I cannot amount to anything in my life, so let me not be serious with my academics. You brought labeling theory, the student turned it to self-fulfilling theory. These are theories. But we must know how to encourage these children. Like we said, this is the second stage of autonomy and doubt. Before I proceed to the remaining one, do we understand the trust and mistrust, autonomy versus doubt? Do we? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, honestly,
Yes,
I
sir.
don't know. I don't really understand. Like, I'm still trying to.
You are still trying to do what now? Talk, so we can.
I'm trying to understand the trust and distrust.
You are trying to understand trust versus
Trust
mistrust.
versus. Yes, sir.
Okay. So class, please pardon us. Let's go back to trust and mistrust, because everybody must understand. Now, this particular theory, psychosocial development theory, it talks about the development of human being from infancy to adulthood. And according to Erik Erikson, he called it the 8 ages of man. the 8 ages of man. And if you look at these 8 stages, each they are word and opposite. For example, trust, mistrust, they are word and opposite. Autonomy, shame, and doubt, they are word and opposite. Initiative and guilt, they are word and opposite. If you look at the whole 8, they are word and opposite. So if the child gets the necessary support, the positive will continue to happen in the life of that child. Like I said, the first 5, they are children, they are meant for children development. The first 5. And the remaining 3 are meant for adult development. The first, trust, autonomy, initiative, industrial, and identity, they are meant for children. And if these first 5 go wrong, it will affect the remaining 3. And that is going to be an adult that is not confident of himself, an adult that is full of despair. So, as a social worker, you must understand whenever anyone goes wrong, you must know how to tell the parent, you have got it wrong here. And if it is not corrected on time, because we are talking about development, child development here, 1 to 5. So the first stage, like we said, it is from age 0 to age 1. That is trust versus mistrust. Here, the child will feel able to trust the world and the people in the world if their needs are responded to. And the child is cared for. You may be thinking that those children doesn't know anything. Those children, they don't know anything because they are 0 to 1. But this theory is based on research that has been done before it became theory. Based on empirical researches that were done. And it's telling you, if those children at this age, 0 to 1, if they don't enjoy the emotional warmth and the sense of belonging from adult caregivers, it will affect them and this will result in mistrust. They will not trust anybody again. But if those needs were met, then they begin to build trust in the people around them. They begin to build trust. How is it that you carry a child and give to a stranger, the child will begin to cry? Because the child doesn't know the face. Hello? Who is this person that is disturbing us? Mute your mind. Why is it that you carry a child, give to a stranger, he begins to cry or she begins to cry? Because he doesn't know the face. And the moment you give the child back to the mom, she'll be laughing, or give to the dad, he'll be laughing. That is it. The children have built trust with people around them. And they have mistrust for those they don't know. Why they trust people around them? Because those people are meeting their needs. And that is how they are developing. You get it? The child will feel able to trust the world and people in the world if their needs are responded to. And the child is cared for. Emotional work will result in the child being suspicious and fearful of adults and others. Now, Asuko, do you now, sorry, Angela, do you now understand the
Yes,
trust
sir.
and mistrust
Yes,
now?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Glory,
Especially with the
glory be
exam.
to,
Thank you, sir.
glory be to God. So we move to the next one, which is autonomy versus shame or doubt. And this is between a 1 to 3. That is when they develop that sense of autonomy or shame or doubt. You get it? Erskine argues that this is the first
Hello. Hello.
We cannot hear you, no.
Today's network now, wow.